This is episode entitled Memento. And we find ourselves on the Prometheus ship once again. And we're taking it for its a little shakedown cruise. And we have a bit of a breakdown. And we find ourselves in space with no way of getting back. So we have to go to a nearby planet where we are required to find a Stargate, otherwise we're really stuck. This is the starfield. It's nothing but a giant black curtain with little tiny reflective flecks on it.
No.
And see, that's just nothing more than a little piece of tin foil, and it picks up a light. And this starfield curtain is hung from the rafters, and it is right outside the window of the bridge set. So when we look out the window, we see the starfield. And when it's lit properly, and it looks just like outer space.
Well, that's good news.
And a little bit of a shake, you shake it just a little bit, you get the twinkling effect.
Nice job.
So, here's the starfield outside. Now, usually that would be a little bit more out of focus, and you wouldn't be able to see the curtain element. I think if we... There's maybe what it would look like if I'm using this right. I'm not required to know how to make this work. I only just tell people what to do.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
So here we have an example of a scope, and I don't think people will appreciate this if I do this, but the public at large needs to know that there's a computer, a regular computer in there behind this faceplate, and this cutout, like right here, just goes over it. And everybody goes, oh, it looks normal. But that's what it looks like underneath that faceplate. So this kind of looks cool when you look at it this way.
If that's what you want to call it.
And you might see a shot, out this way. We're looking out into the star field. I think the fans will get a kick out of this. We have a ring room, much like a transporter room from another very famous sci-fi show, and we've incorporated this push-button concept from the cargo ship that we've seen before into the inner workings of our ship, and now we have hieroglyphs for buttons here, and then we have the equivalent of what those things mean here. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then there's these.
Mr. DeLuise, maybe he knows.
How do you push which keys in what order? A lot of the times you'll see doors opening and closing on the show, and that is a result of a lot of time and effort. And so this is a door that opens and closes. Try to get a better shot of that. Opens and closes. And how that is achieved is someone off in the wings holds this handle, this low-tech handle, and pushes the door in. And usually it's a college graduate is required to push this handle. We would probably do something like go into this elevator, like so, pretend to push a little button, close the foreground doors, these doors, and beyond that, in this area, the blaster would be down or up while we were blinded by the fact that these foreground doors were closed. And then when we reopen these doors, maybe the blast door is now down, or maybe it's now up, and we appear to be on a different floor.
Jack!
Got yourself a fine crew here, Ronson.
Well, you got a pretty solid team yourself.
Yeah, speaking of that.
Jack, I know that in the event of a real situation with a Goa'uld, you feel that your place would be on the bridge.
Well, if not me, you'd be a fool not to take advantage of Teal'c's expertise, and Carter's a genius.
You're absolutely right. But you're just along for the shakedown cruise.
This is Ingrid Cavallars, playing Major Aaron Gant, the XO. What was your hardest line to say on this show?
Hardest line to say on this show would be: an electromagnetic pulse penetrated the shield, sir. Primary computer systems are down. All we have is artificial gravity and life support on most decks. Now, why can I say that now and I couldn't say it yesterday?
I've asked the same question.
Or when I did have to say it, I broke out in a cold sweat. An electromagnetic pulse penetrated the shield, sir. Primary computer systems are down. All we have is artificial gravity and life support on most decks.
So is it wonderful working with Richard Dean Anderson?
Absolutely wonderful.
Is he the biggest flirt ever, or what? Oh, you're not allowed to say. Sworn to secrecy. Yeah.
No comment.
I guess I can respect that.
Woman, what's it like working with Amanda Tuck?
She's really cool. And she's hot. Okay, who's your favorite guest star on the show?
I like to think about the guest stars as my children, who I love them all equally. And the ones who remember their lines, those are the ones I really like. When you see this show, you'll most likely see a shot that resembles this.
Figure it out.
I'm going to start here. And this is what I call the obligatory library shot, where we go through bookshelves like this. Bookshelves. And by doing that, we give the illusion of that there's a lot of stuff here. And we'll find our two characters in the foreground dealing with an alien computer. These would be the same as, say, floppy disks, and that would be the personal computer there, with the very cleverly made Sanskrit keyboard. This is a typical thing that happens on the show. It's an insert, and over the shoulder insert, this is a particular shot is a shot of O'Neill, over O'Neill onto a monitor. Here is Richard Dean Anderson talking to, hey, you're not Richard Dean Anderson. You're Bill Nicolai, aren't you? Also the sometimes technician on the show.
Yeah, a long time when I go with technicians.
And they're going to do basically a shot over Bill onto the screen. Because Bill's ears look exactly like Richard Dean Anderson. Now, for our fans at home, sorry to be in your face here, Andy. For our fans at home, this is a comm link. And of course, Hammond is talking to Richard, or O'Neill rather. And this guy is Damian Kindler, who is the writer of this episode.
That would be this guy here?
That's right. And he is, we twisted his arm and we forced him to be in this shot.
Billy did the slate.
And action!
SG-1 has valuable experience with both hyperspace travel and the Prometheus itself. Besides, your mission to P7X-009 shouldn't take more than a few hours. General Greer and I just want you there for the shakedown cruise.
In the unlikely event of an emergency.
Something like that. Enjoy the ride, Colonel. Hammond out.
Cut!